Good morning. It is Monday, the 3rd of January, and welcome to another edition of Wet Roads Monday. So we just finished walking around the building a couple times. Got my mile in, and it looks like the water's rising right now. So it might be a couple days that we'll have to deal with this king tide or whatever it really is. But yeah, I couldn't go around the block today because of the water. That's all right. We've been here before. We've been here for the really big tides last month, 6 weeks ago about. I don't really remember. Today's a Monday. It is Monday, January 3rd. It's 5:34 in the morning. Thank you very much for getting some energy in the morning and coming and visiting me this morning. It is a Monday, and it's a good Monday because I don't have school this Monday. New Year's fell on the 1st, but that first was on a Saturday, and hence my school gave the kids the day off on the next following weekday, which would be today, which would be Monday. And I'm really happy about that. Monday is a day that I only have 2 classes, and so if I don't work on Mondays, then I only lose the salary of 2 classes. Instead, if it's a Tuesday through Friday class, then I'd miss the salary of 3 periods, which is 2/3 the pay of a normal work day. No word on what's going to happen with the kids in schooling, and as far as elementary school is considered, we don't know yet. It looks like some of the middle schools might be going back to school today. I saw that not today, on tomorrow. Or maybe it's only my school that only has off on this Monday. Maybe it's all other schools? No, it was in the news that it was a third that they were going to go back to school. So maybe they are going back to school today. Anyway, it seems that middle schools might be starting to trickle back into their schools. They can trickle slowly because it's only until the end of this month. Then we have the big holiday, which is the Tet holiday. It's coming up at the end of this month. So we'll see. We'll see what happens after Tet, and the small kids, the primary school kids, the schools that I work at, they're the most vulnerable. They're also the most resilient. So we'll see what happens. They can't get a vaccine shot yet. I don't think they can. I haven't read anything that they can. But it seems that most of the high schoolers, especially 12th grade and 11th grade, are fully vaccinated. Well, they got 1 shot at least. But we got the Omicron variant here, and yeah, they've smashed it at the border. So supposedly, it's probably here, but just not registering yet in the news. They had some people fly in with the variant, and then they quarantined them, and the 6 cases that they did find were negative now, so which is good. But we'll see what really happens in the next coming weeks and how this virus plays out for our society here, the economic society here. We don't know. But in the meantime, we're taking advantage of the temporary freedoms that we have been given. We've been going out a little bit more. We went to play batting cages yesterday. Batting cages. I think it's the first time in my life that we went to hit some batting cages. I remember a long time ago, Mom, you may remember this, but down where there was that big giant Kmart, and across the street was a Salvation Army on not Dillingham, next to Ala Park, heading towards Evelay. We had that big Kmart, had the Salvation Army, had that one place that used to that homeless shelter, and then across the way, right over there used to be batting cages. And I remember Fung and Chan and their brother Lum would always go there, but I never went there with them. So yesterday was my first time in a batting cage, and it was really fun. Really took me back to the days that we used to play softball. Every Friday night we'd be taken up to Stevenson Park, and I remember why we had these big outings is because the mother of the family felt that they needed their kids to associate with others. So their family, they had 3 boys, Stephen, Thomas, and Edward. They had Becky, Rachel, and Debbie. So they had 6 kids, all roughly 10 years older, to 5 to 15 years older than I was. So their mom would go out and they would make these big outings, and they'd have softball every Friday night, and we'd go to these softball games. And it was a way that their mom said that I need my kids to be hanging out with other friends, and I'm not gonna let them hang out with any worldly people. And so I'm gonna make these games on Friday nights, and we're gonna invite whoever wants to come. They can come and enjoy softball together. And those boys, Stephen and Thomas, man, they were good. They were built for softball. Maybe it's because I was younger and I didn't have as much muscle as them at the time. But yeah, they'd step up to the plate and they'd crank that ball. And every time you saw Thomas or Stephen step up to the plate, you knew that you had to grab your glove and you had to go outfield really far. And majority of the time, if Thomas got a good connection with that ball, like he'd blast it over the school building, and then you'd go and have to look for it in the parking lot, because they'd go over the building and the ball would bounce in the parking lot, and then people would have to go look for the ball. But yeah, it was a good time in my life, and it's a very memorable time playing softball. And so yesterday, as I'm standing in that batting cage, like I'm getting the same feels as I did, and I think because of my age and because of my size now I feel that that's going to translate into like connecting with the balls like Thomas and Stephen did back when they did theirs. But it doesn't mean that just because you're older and you're wiser, or because you got more muscles, that you can actually hit the ball like the person who was the professional that you knew back in the day was. It doesn't mean that, because I got into that and for the first like three rounds, I barely hit one ball. I tried and I could barely hit one ball, which probably is good to humble you. If you connect on the very first ball, that doesn't do very much good for your ego. But it's baseball, right? What's the huge implications of being good at batting cages? Anyway, it's really fun. So I learned that as the night progressed, I had to choke up on the bat a little bit more, because you get more control out of there. And eventually I went over to the slower pitched area, and I was able to connect with a little bit more balls because of the slower pitch, which is maybe, you kind of want to go out there and you want to take the fast pitches, but like I took the fast pitches and it wasn't working for me. I do want to go back another time, sometime, I don't know when, but to do the smaller bats. But anyway, I choked up higher on the bigger bat, and I was able to connect with a little bit more hits. And yeah, because sometimes you just want to hit a home run in life. You sink your hand to the bottom of that bat, and you want all the momentum behind you, and you swing. And no matter how hard you swing, if you don't got the good technique, you're not going to connect with the ball. And I think sometimes that's a good analogy for life. You gotta choke up on it. You gotta just say, hey, I gotta do baby steps first. Let me get a little bit more control on this. Not coming out here thinking I'm Babe Ruth and I'm gonna, point to left field and slug it out of the field just because I pointed there. Nope, you have to start somewhere too. Choke up a little higher on the bat and take swings at slower balls, and eventually work your way up. A friend of mine, he was really good. He just kept every ball that came, and towards the evening, I think it was his last session, towards the evening, he was cranking those balls, and he called them dingers. Yeah, so he just was dinging these balls. And there's a big net, about 30-40 feet out. There's a big net that catches all the balls and returns them back to the machine. But yeah, he was good, but I'm sure he's got a lot more experience in playing baseball than I do. And yeah, it was really enjoyable just to be out with the people, into a social setting like that, and a public place. The air was open because it's an open air seating, and yeah, it was good. So anyway, today's Monday. Let's finish up scheduling our week, get everything done. What talks do you have to give? What assignments do you have to get done? Work, do you have to plan, schedule any kind of work? all of that stuff should get done today, and then that's what I'll work on. I'm gonna take a little break this morning, gonna have a coffee, and then when I get back, I'll get back onto it. But that's basically my weekend. Love you guys very much. Thank you guys very much for watching, and yeah, every day down here, do it. Self-discipline, name of the game. And thank you everybody for your support, that you help me to keep me on my track of self-discipline and just making sure I get out here and doing my workouts. And the reason I say that, just one small anecdote, is because yesterday I was sitting at a table and somebody had asked why we're going to a cafe so early, which was, it was 8:30. It was 8:30. It is going to be 8:30 today, but that guy said, "Oh, why are we going to cafe so early?" And then my friend, he said, "It's not early. It's not early for Jesse. You know, Jesse's up at 4:45." And in that moment, I kind of felt a little proud of myself, and a little proud of my friends, that they helped me to keep that identity strong. And so this morning when I got up, I thought about that. You know, I'm like, people know you as the guy who gets up at 4:45, and I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself. But sometimes to hear other people adopt that identity after I've long adopted it for myself, and helped me to push me to continue to keep that identity. Anyway, love you guys. Sorry for the rambling a little bit, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a good day. Aloha.